Hey everyone, my name is Russell Brunson, and in a few seconds from now, I'm going to actually show you an interview recently I did with my friend Tony Robbins and I talking about how to start a business online. But before we get into the interview, in case we haven't met yet, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Russell Brunson. I started a software company a few years ago called ClickFunnels.com. You may have heard of it. That this year did over $100 million in sales, which is kind of crazy. But this interview with Tony was all about you and how can you start a business online. And what a lot of people don't even know is that when I got started initially, the first thing I sold, and I talked about it with Tony, was a DVD teaching people how to make potato guns. Yes, potato guns like this. And so that's how I got started, selling things like this. So for you, it doesn't matter what you're selling. If you have a product, an idea, a service, something, this interview is going to help you understand how to actually sell your products and services online, which is exciting. Now this is the first of a 3-part video series. Each part is going to walk through part of this interview with Tony. And the first part, you're going to learn about how I got started and how you can get started as well. You're going to hear stories about people like Brandon and Kaylin Poland who were just like you initially. They didn't have a business, but they were excited, and now they've launched this huge company that sell products internationally all around the world. You're going to hear some of those stories during this interview. So I'm excited for you. I hope you love this. You're going to learn all the tools and the techniques you need to start your own business online and how I've done it, and you're going to have Tony actually interview me about the whole process, which is a ton of fun. So with that said, let's roll the video and check out the first part of the interview.
I've known Russell for about 15 years, 15 years now. Got to know him really well over the last decade or so. And what I love about Russell is, so many people are looking for ways to maximize their business or to find a way to produce a secondary income. And most of the stuff that you see online is disappointing would be the nicest word I could give for it. There's so many scams, there's so much BS. And what I love about Russell, and the reason I wanted to introduce him to you briefly today, is he has a new book out called Expert Secrets. The subtitles help you to find your message, build a tribe, and change the world. Yes, hold that up so we all see that.
There it is.
There we go. And it just, what I love about Russell is just, he's the real thing. Why don't you share with my audience a little bit here about how you got started in this business and a little bit of your approach to it, how it differs from so many other people out there.
Yeah, so I actually got started in this business, man, feels like yesterday, but it's been, 10, 15 years now. And it's funny because I was the same way a lot of people were. I didn't know a lot about business. I was trying different things and learning from different mentors. And one of the very first things I ever created, in fact, I sent you the first one I made actually, was a potato gun. And we were making those for fun. And we had so much fun making potato guns and shooting them and having just like the time of our life. And then one day I had the idea, I wonder if anyone else besides me is interested in information about potato guns. And there was nobody else selling any plans or DVDs or anything. And so I thought, there's my first opportunity. I'm going to become a potato gun expert. And we went and made a potato gun DVD. My friend and I recorded it, put it online, and started selling it. And it never made me rich, but it was the first thing I sold online. We started making $20 or $30 a day. And it was like the coolest thing in the world. And to see people take what you knew and actually do something with it. And that's, for me, is how it began. And then obviously I didn't want my rest of my life to be known as a potato gun expert. As much fun as that is, and I'm still into that business or into that hobby, but that's how it kind of began. And then I started branching out, and kind of my next steps, I started finding other people who were really good. And I was like, man, these one of my friends, I don't know if you know Howard Berg, world's fastest reader. We partnered with him, and I was like, you're the world's fastest. Let's create information selling what you do. And we did projects together, selling his information and other people's, and I started getting obsessed with helping other people to take what they knew and what they were good at and put it out there and sell it. And then now in the most recent years, obviously we've been teaching a lot of people doing that. We've got software that helps people with it, but that's kind of the backstory.
Well, you've grown so massively. Haven't you serviced almost 1 million business owners over the last 10 years?
Yeah, we've been over that now. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then you've created ClickFunnels. We'll talk about it as well. But tell me about how do you differentiate yourself from so many people online. Everybody on the line jumps online. Everybody's got some hook that they're trying to use to sell somebody something. You've really differentiated yourself, I've found, over the years. What do you think has separated you from the others?
I think a lot of people get in business initially because they want to make money, which is a good thing. That's what usually spurs entrepreneurship. But for me, what I found, I talk about this actually in the very first section of the book to kind of give people context, because I know sometimes people feel guilty about that as well. But I know for me, I was learning, I was growing, and there came a point in my life where no matter how much I kept learning, eventually you kind of stop. It's hard to keep progressing just by learning itself. And I had some big wins, I had successes, and it was I love celebrating them. But then the first time I started helping other people, I was hey, I'm gonna this stuff I've learned, let me help you with it. And I'd help people, and they'd see their success. And I'm sure you're the same way. When you see someone else have success, it is a million times cooler than your own success. And for me, I got addicted to that. I'm okay, that was awesome. Like, who else can help and how else can I help? And my whole focus shifted from like, how do I start a business, make money, to like, these people have messages. They've got things that they know that they can change other people's lives. And I might not be the world's fastest reader. I might not be someone who's good at personal development or finance or any of those things. I might not be the best at it. But if I can, like my gifts, my tools, if I can help them to get their message out, man, like how many more people can we impact? And so that's why I love working with entrepreneurs, because it's like one entrepreneur can change hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people's lives, and it's so much fun.
What's been one of the biggest campaigns that you've run to give people a sense of what the economic opportunity is? And then I want to follow up and get into a little bit about the different types of expert businesses. But tell us the story of what's been one of the big surprises. I know the potato gun's where you started, but what's one of the big hits you got? What kind of return did you get? Just to give people a sense of what's possible. And I remember you telling me how crazy you were over several of these stories. Well, give me one.
There's so many cool ones. So I'll share one of my favorite. They're a younger couple. They are, I think, 22, 23. They just got married, Brandon and Caitlin. In fact, when you spoke at our event, she was the one that had the Prada purse that you kind of teased.
Yes, I remember that, yes.
So she's the coolest couple, the newlywed couple. And the first time they met me, they messaged me and they're like, we're completely broke. We have nothing. Someday we're going to be a success story. And I was like, all right, cool. And then a year later, they came to our event and they came up to me and they're like, hey, right now we're doing, I think it was $80,000 a month right now, helping women to transform their bodies through weight loss. And I was like, that's cool. And then they started going deeper and deeper into this. And one of my favorite things is they did a Facebook Live 2 months ago, following kind of the process we teach in this book. They did the Facebook Live and went live. And two things. Number one, that Facebook Live they did, they sold over $1 million worth of products, 22, 23-year-old couple. But number two, right now they're adding 500 women a day are coming into their programs, and they're taking these women's lives and radically transforming them. And the case studies are just insane. So for me, it's like the money's cool because us entrepreneurs want to know that, but like 500 women a day, every single day, are coming in like clockwork into their programs, and they're having this huge impact on people's health that it's like the coolest thing in the world to watch and to see.
Well, the crazy thing is so many people have beautiful ideas. I knew early in my career, my biggest thing was I had these skills, these abilities, some talents, certain things, God gives you, and certain things you develop along the way. But I realized my ideas were going to die on my lips unless I learned how to market. I was not going to change millions of people's lives unless I could figure out how to do that as well. And, mine was so much trial and error, and there was no internet per se. That's how ancient I am.
Hey, this is Russell again. I hope you enjoyed the first of the 3-part interview with Tony Robbins. And I want you to know part number 2 is coming out any day now. When it goes live, it's going to be here in this channel. So I need you to do a couple things because I don't want you to miss it. Number 1, you need to subscribe to my channel. That way it'll show up in your subscription notifications. Number 2, click on the bell so you can get notifications, because sometimes you subscribe, you don't get notified when a new video comes. So make sure you subscribe and click on notification. That way, the second video 2 drops, you'll get access to it immediately. And the third thing we've been talking about is Expert Secrets book. If you want a copy, there's going to be a link somewhere on the screen where you can go get a free copy of it. Just cover shipping and handling. We'll ship it out to you. That way you can read along and learn all the stuff that Tony and I are discussing in this interview, which is a lot of fun. And with that said, thank you so much for watching part 1 of 3 of my interview with Tony Robbins. In part 2, I'll give you a little teaser right now. We're going to start going deep into the 2 different types of expert businesses and how you apply both of them. And so make sure you get on that video, make sure you get on the notifications so you don't miss that video. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next interview.